I was first aware of my body when I was probably about 10 because I started my period in primary school, so I was growing a lot quicker than everybody else. So I felt very insecure about it.
I would say I was around 10 or 11 years old when I was first aware of my body.
My body is something that I always have to think about. If I am wearing a certain type of clothing that I know can't be worn, like at the end of the day, it can only be worn at the beginning when I haven't eaten anything.
My body is unique, I guess.
My body is my body. I can't change my body, so I've just learned to accept me for who I am without worrying about losing weight or being this perfect body type. So yeah, I've learned that my body is how it is and I can't change that.
My biggest insecurity is probably the little poochy roll I have at the bottom of my stomach, where if I wear jeans that are too tight, you can see the little roll that just pops out, and I hate it. I can't look at myself and I have that little roll.
My biggest insecurity is definitely my stomach. I've always been very aware of that. I feel this way because I think growing up, especially around my brothers who are a lot smaller than me, I was always aware that they had flat stomachs, and I feel like mine just protruded a bit, and I guess I was aware of that.
My biggest insecurity is probably my lower stomach, because where I have endo, it makes the bottom of my stomach kind of sticks out. And it doesn't matter how skinny, in quotation marks, it doesn't matter how skinny I am, you always see it, and it kind of makes me ugh, gross.
I definitely struggled, especially during the first year of university. I think because it was such a new environment and there was just always a pressure to look and be your best self, to try and get new friends and everything, that I really struggled with eating in that year. And if I knew I wanted to eat something at night, it would be I have to make sure I've done at least 1 or 2 hours of exercise before I've done that. So, and I'm better now, but I still do feel a guilt if I haven't done enough exercise in my day, that I don't feel like I deserve to eat, or I'll be comparing myself to other people and they'll eat barely anything, and then I feel guilty that my plate's full of whatever it is, and I can just feel a voice nagging inside me going, you shouldn't be eating all of this.
Social media also affects me growing up, because obviously there's a lot of stuff on social media that shows the typical, the body that you have to be, that you should be, and it's all very slim models. And I guess I looked at that thinking, oh, I should look this way or look this way, whereas social media doesn't always portray the natural body type or everyone's body type. So I grew up thinking I should be very slim, very skinny, whereas I can't, I am my own weight.
I've kind of been affected by this notion of body image, mainly through what's common and what you see on TV and social media. I mean, it's a bit better now with inclusivity, but you still don't see enough sort of range of body types. You will see that stock size 8 to 10, but you won't see anything really less than that or more than that on social media and stuff. When you look at Love Island, and they had that woman that was a plus size, and she was literally a size 12. It's okay.
I feel this way probably because anytime you go on Instagram, there's constantly just people that all look exactly the same, and they've all got the flattest stomachs, but then they still have hips that balance it out, so they look curvy, but they're like the skinniest person. But then if you actually go to like a beach, you look around and you realise that not everyone's like that. Like actually everyone's different, but you would never at a beach go like, that person looks disgusting. Like it just is what it is. But then when you see what it looks like on Instagram and then you look in the mirror and see yourself, that's when you then think, that looks disgusting.
So growing up, Instagram became a thing when I was about 14 or 15. And it does affect you. I think social media, when I was growing up, was negative towards how people looked, because in that like 2010 to 2017 really, the norm was like models that were very skinny and like had a particular look about them. And I had like, it's like other things, like my skin was terrible because of my fluctuating hormones due to endo. So you're comparing yourself through like how people's skin is compared to yours and all that sort of stuff.
If I'm going out for a meal, I struggle to eat everything that I want to without feeling the doubt of that this is just going to make me appear disgusting. Like I feel like I look disgusting when I'm eating my food.
Body image does affect me on day-to-day basis. I've got much better with my body image after like getting help with it. Obviously there's good days and bad days with it. I always now find that on my bad mental health days I have bad body image, whereas on my good mental health days I have good body image. So it's always levels with me whether it's going to be good or bad. And on the bad days I just accept that maybe today I'm not feeling so good, so I'll cover up a bit more, but I know I'll have those days where I feel better about myself. So I've just kind of learnt to adapt to it in a way.
Social media affected me definitely because you have so many videos of like what I eat in a day. Here's me going out for a meal, and like I'm watching these people and they barely eat anything. They're like, here's my breakfast, and it's like one slice of toast, and then they go on to lunch and it's like the tiniest little salad, and then I just feel so guilty that actually for lunch I've just had, I don't know, just something that's so much more substantial, and it almost like makes me feel sick, the fact that I'm putting like so much more into my body than other people are.
I think the documentary has sort of made me reevaluate my body and my relationship to it. I think now I have a much more positive relationship with my body, and I think that's just from understanding that actually quite a lot of people feel the same way, but we all need to be like happy and confident in ourselves and realize that social media is doctored, it is changed. Like all these photos are airbrushed and edited, and that's not real.
I definitely struggled, especially during the first year of university. I really struggled with eating, and if I knew like I wanted to eat something at night, I have to make sure I've done at least like 1 or 2 hours of exercise before I've done that. I still do feel a guilt if I haven't done enough exercise in my day, that I don't feel like I deserve to eat.
My body image affected me in a very negative way, especially through secondary school. I was very aware of my body. I feel like a lot of people go through that in secondary school. You're kind of finding yourself. I also, even like a few years back, I went through a really tough time, and I had like an eating disorder from like the end of secondary school through college and through the start of uni. So it's affected me in quite a negative way, but I did get help from that and I've overcome that.
I don't think I'd ever look twice in the mirror and start picking myself apart.
My body is unique and I appreciate it for what it is.
This documentary made me think more positively about my body image, and it was a way of encouraging other girls, my body type, to feel comfortable in themselves. It also pushed me out my comfort zone to feel more comfortable in my own skin, and hoping that other people can also feel comfortable in their own body, if they see that they got the same body type as me,